So first and foremost, I wanted to start off this video because my foot and leg on my left side has been like swelling up and hurts and I suspect it might be a blood clot. So I just wanted this to serve as my last will and testament because this is something that I think about a lot and I'm very worried. Not dying, but I do have Bugley. I do have my sweet, precious monster Bugley. Oh, my English bulldog. He's sound asleep over there. This head on a little pillow, just like a person. Oh, he's so comfortable. He loves that bed. But if I die, what I always worry about is that he's going to starve to death in here because it's going to take a very long time for anyone to find out. I mean, it's going to be like until the eviction process. And then they're going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah. She was always on time with the rent and everything. So it was a little odd, but well, it's going to be, I have to get a cleaning crew in here. But I fear that it's like, I have a soul who relies on me. I got Bugley. If I die in here, he's going to starve to death. So, in my last act of consciousness, I always thought I got to roll off the bed before I die so that he may eat my body and survive on the sustenance. And I hope my blood has enough water to get him through until somebody finds me. But I would like this to serve as please because this is something that I have looked up because I was very worried about it, and I've read stories about um, dogs who eat their owners after they pass away, which is not the dog's fault. They're hungry, they need it. I would feel very honored. I think cannibalism is an act of love. I think it's honestly very romantic. I feel like it's an act of love. I If that was an option, I would love to be made into dog treats and have my dog eat me. I would love it. I think it is a very harmonious act of love. Um, but unfortunately, I've looked this up and they euthanize dogs who do that. I mean, the dogs who kill their owners and then eat them, like, okay, like maybe they're too vicious to exist. But the dogs that were, it's like they're starving to death and their owner's there. It's like, you know what? I would want them to do it. I want them to do it. If we were in an apocalypse, like if I couldn't find evil people to kill and feed to my dog, I'd start cutting off limbs. I'd feed him. I would do it. I have no problem with it, and I would want him to eat my body. So please don't euthanize my dog if I die in here and I'm able to roll down to the ground and he eats my body. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. It's a final act of bond and love between us. And please don't euthanize my dog for eating my dead body. So having said all that, um let's get into the four words guaranteed to bring a smile to every face, directed by Todd Solondz. If you can see my shirt there, wearing an old Todd Solondz shirt. So I was introduced to him late in life. I was dating this guy who was a downright piece of shit. I mean, let's be honest. This guy was just like a freak in all the worst ways. But he had excellent taste in movies. He's the one that showed me Alps after I expressed my love for Yorgos. It was one of the only Yorgoses I hadn't seen. He even tracked down the idiots for me when it was like unfindable. And it was unfortunately extremely romantic. He, like, picked me up and was like, "We're going on this surprise adventure," and he took me to this, like, little video store in Pasadena that's not even there anymore. And it appears like, the boys just kinda ripped a copy illegally just for me. Um but I was so in love, and, it was such an act of love. I was like, "You found the idiots for me." Yeah, extremely romantic movie. Have you seen it? Thank you, Lars von Trier. Thank you. Thank you for your service, honestly. Now that's a man. That is another man. Tack him up to the bulletin board of the men that I love. And he's a father figure to me. A father figure I've never met, and unknowing, unwitting on his end, and unknowing on his end. But I consider him a father figure. Um, in the way that he's shaped me in so many ways into becoming the woman you see before you. Thank you, Lars von Trier. Thank you, Todd Solondz. um, but anyway, this weirdo in the worst kind of way, he was like blown away that I'd never seen a Todd Solondz movie because he was like, just the way that you are, I assumed he was already your favorite guy. Now I'm about to introduce you to your favorite fucking guy. And man, was he spot on with that. He showed me happiness and storytelling first, and then we moved on to American Movie because Solonz was such a champion of it. And it was one of the best days of my life. I still remember it to this day. Piece of shit aside, it's just one of those things I always just like look back to and I was like, damn, it really sucks. It's really too bad about that guy. Shit. Um, and yeah, whenever I think about it though, it's like I'm not really sure what that relationship says about my tastes or what that makes me. But you know what? I'm really not in the mood for epiphanies today. But Solondz, Todd Solondz, what a guy. What a guy, what a guy. And I do feel like Todd Solondz and Mike White are evil twins, taunting and prodding the nation's bloated rot from opposite coasts. Me in the middle as a scientifically engineered love child between the two. I believe that Todd Solondz is a sicko, even more than myself. A stoic sicko who just stares right through you until you want to jump off a cliff. I love him. I love him. I love him so dearly, because he has a heart, a true love for this world that only a mentally ill masochist could possess. Do not mistake this man for a sadist. While he might make you squirm and squeal like the pigs that you are, he takes no pleasure in it. For there is a deep sorrow that lives within his love, one that wishes to celebrate those at their most base, that can lovingly embrace what we are told to shame, spurn, socially isolate, and snuff out. His characters live on two poles that coexist in chaos, the most innocent and the darkness that preys on him. Pedophilia obviously being the most fringe subject, but just as on par in his eyes are those that disguise themselves as being above it all somehow. Those that reject and avoid the messiness of life to live as a controlled, sterile machine. Grow your own crazy, smoke your own crazy, feed from your own crazy, nurture it and let it lead. He's someone who sees at soul level the American Anubis, weighing each viewer's heart against a feather, devoured or allowed to see heaven. You cannot escape his judgment. While most filmmakers may be afraid to transgress, he rips away the caution tape, stomps the ground beneath him, and pisses all over the petrified, soulless charlatans. And you can't get any more fucking real than that. Do I have for you tonight are some deeper cuts, both equally not for the faint of heart. We got Palindromes that came out in 2004, of which is a recent watch for me because it was not available anywhere until Roma. Um, and I paired that with Life During Wartime that came out in 2009. Both of these are like kind of sequels to his two most favorite, two most famous films, probably most people's favorite. Um, I love them all equally. It's like being asked to pick a favorite child. It's like, how dare you? When people ask me that question, it's like that is one thing that makes me clutch my heart. Like, how could you ask me? How could you ask me that? These are these are my children that I love equally and all their ways. How dare you? Get the fuck out of here. I would kick somebody out of my home for that. I've done pettier things, you know. I once broke up with a guy because he didn't like the fog, which is like, I don't know. John Carpenter, that's another one where it's like, how dare you? How dare you make me choose a favorite? Um Big Trouble in China. I kind of always like that one or The Fog, and then The Thing, and I don't know. How could you overwhelm me with this question that you didn't ask? Um, but yeah, anyway, these are like kind of sequels to his with this getting back on track. And these are like kind of sequels to his two most famous. And I do suggest you stop the video here if you'd like to go in cold, because I did with both of these films. And I feel like as long as you've seen the notable ones, you'll quickly come to find like, wait a second. I know these characters. I know this story. But if you've seen them, or you don't want to go in cold and want to ruin your experience, let's get into it. So, Palindromes is kind of, sort of spiritual sequel to Welcome to the Dollhouse. And even starts with a home video of Don Wiener's funeral and has like this very mysterious RIP at the beginning. And I was like, wait, is Don a real person? Like, it totally got me. I'm just kind of admitted to being an idiot there. But like, I was like, oh my God, what? He actually knows a Don Wiener? And oh my God. Like, and she died. He's dedicating it to her, and then you see like the home video, and you're like, "Oh, okay, okay." I'm I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I'm rocks for brains. Um, so yeah, with that home video, I was like already locked in, and in typical Solondz fashion, poor Dawn is said to have committed suicide after getting pregnant from a date rape. So we're already off to a great start. We're already off to a great Salon start. And then the film follows Dawn's cousin Aviva, um, who is played by different actors of different ages and races. And he always seems to switch to what age would be most uncomfortable in context. Like in reverse absurdist Lolita, Aviva is a pregnancy obsessed preteen. When Aviva is found by the Sunshine family and falls in puppy love with a preteen boy her own age, she's played by an adult. The sex scenes feel painfully real. Like, where movies usually play to the fantastic visions that we create in our head, this film grounds you like an anchor to the unsexy relationship most people have with the illicit act. It's quite ugly and disgusting, like watching a caged zoo animal take a shit. It's compulsively rote, like microwaving leftovers. It's the psychology that fires the loins of Todd Solondz. The mother scenes are hard to watch. The pseudo self-sacrificing mother looking to heal her own abandonment wounds by pouring them into the innocent slates of her children, torturing them into guilt for ever living their own lives or making their own decisions. It's a tough balance. You feel bad for the tragic mothers, but they perpetuate the cycles. Mama Sunshine's heart is partially in the right place. As much as I like to believe she's not fully consciously collecting children that either physically or psychologically can't leave, she's still a black widow in her own way. Her web may not be one of physical death for the children, but does a paralyzed insect feel swaddled in a spider's silky cocoon, wrapped up tightly like a return to the womb? Supposedly dying of blood loss is a euphoric experience. And they have their family boy band. So it's hard to really judge when you have something as fantastic as that. I'm telling you, it's funny, but it's really sweet too. Like, I just loved that part. That was my favorite. Um, but the plot, the very existence of its characters are not here to hold your hand, but function as an autopsy. It's not the strength of your constitution, but the flexibility of it. It ends on a vicious, dark joke: death and rebirth, cycling the drain of existence. Then we have Life During Wartime, which is a sequel. This is like a direct sequel to Happiness. It has some ties to Welcome to the Dollhouse. Now, this one had me fucked up when I first watched it because all of the characters are the same, but they're played by different people. Most notable is Michael K. Williams playing Philip Seymour Hoffman's character in Happiness, which is an absolute fucking mindfuck. Watching it cold is an extremely mysterious situation because you're just watching it and you're like, wait a second, I know these people. I know that monologue. I know those obscene phone calls. This is a fucking sequel. It's better. It's almost better going in cold. I gotta say, like it was like the greatest experience because you feel like, wait a second, what the fuck is going on here? And while it never quite reaches the uncomfortable depths that Happiness does, I've never seen another movie like it. It's a bizarre class in acting, how each actor adopts the cadence of another. Like Michael K. Williams becomes Philip Seymour Hoffman playing Alan. Like the only thing that could even slightly compare is like when a character wears a mask in Mission Impossible. It's unnatural in a very amusing way, like a dog in a fancy outfit, like a dog wedding. Oh, I just wanted Hamlet to get married. Just to, it would be his special day, not the lady dog's. She can just step to the side for a second, but he would get his custom tuxedo and walk down the aisle and get his all the pictures taken, and it would have been amazing. It really would. Yeah. It's more of a testament to the strong voice of a creator, whereas the actor's work is really showcased as in like service to these characters. In this, it's like it might be a different face, but it's unequivocally the same person. It's like how our memories are warped and developed by time. It's like a dreamscape, like visiting your childhood house while you're asleep. You're not really back. It may be even a completely different place, and yet it feels like going home again. So won't you join me for some late summer salons? Plop yourself down, get uncomfortable, and take a long, hard look at what you see around you. Are we on as just little blips bumping into each other until forgotten about entirely? I don't think that being existential or determinist is bleak. Look at the bright side. If nothing matters, nothing matters. I have failed. I fucked up. I continue to do so and will do so until the day I die. But in the end, we're all just pawns in a Todd Solondz world. If you can't embrace yourself, embrace it for the plot. Have a great time checking these two out, and watch the rest while you're at it.